Bonjour, mon ami, and welcome back to another episode of Waved Yellow. Waved Yellow, where you need to be prepared and the unexpected can always happen. Hello, Gary.
What's this? Good evening. Oh, sorry. Good evening. Good afternoon. Hola, senora and senoritas. What's this bonjour? Then,
No, bonjour. I listened to somebody called Ad Contrarian.
Okay, I'm not going to ask the silly question.
On marketing and advertising and stuff, and he's really, really magic.
Is that going to help us?
Gary, everything helps us. You know, but I believe we're back in our outdoor studio with the air conditioner, nature's air conditioner.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome. But I believe you've been struggling with transport, and you know our transport departments need to be. I think we're going to throw them off the edge of the balcony.
Yeah.
But you got sorted, I believe.
Yeah. And I got sorted by the best guys in the business. And if any of you ever need this stuff done to your car, you go and see these guys. It's called Buddha Motorsport. They are in Hay Street in Turfentine.
Okay, so it's Buddha.
Buddha.
Budda.
Yeah. E-R.
Oh, Budder.
Yeah.
So that's Budder Motorsport. Now, Gary.
Now, hang on a second.
So hold on. I'm glad you've got your particular set of your limousine sorted.
No.
But I believe these guys are not just sorters out of Gary's limousine.
No.
They are fast.
These guys are very fast.
So what's the
These
story?
guys are so fast, they've built a drag car. It's a BMW 3 Series drag car. These guys have never managed to push it to its full potential in South Africa.
So hold on,
for
okay.
various reasons.
So they built this car,
Yeah.
and the story about this car is that it's... How fast did you say it was just now?
Very fast.
So it's F-fast.
Yeah.
And they're going to the World Championships of Drag Racing. And where is that? America. America, the land of the free, the bold, and wall builders.
Yes.
Well, they haven't really built a wall yet, but, you know, anyway.
So
Let's make America fast again.
So this car
Yeah.
is super quick. It needs
Love
chutes.
it.
It needs a parachute to slow it down.
Sometimes I'll send
Okay.
a parachute to slow me down. Gary, a parachute or a club. So
No,
you
but
know the story about Waved Yellow. Be prepared. Anything goes.
Yes.
And we love your feedback. We like your comments, your queries. And I've just got to, Gary, did you notice the T-shirt?
Have you been playing in Kimmy's cupboard again?
No, it's mine.
It's yours. Has Kimmy been playing in your cupboard?
Kimmy is my
I'm getting worried about you and Kimmy.
So the thing is that yesterday was the birthday of the finest racing driver that Formula One has ever known, Kimi Räikkönen. So Kimster, happy birthday, Brew, and just keep it happening. I rate him proper. I know that, you know, that it's not a super popular thing and all the gang, but he's actually...
But he doesn't kank. It's all the other guys that
Yeah,
are
I know.
kank,
So
and he just says,
That's why
leave
I
me
love
alone,
it.
I know what I'm doing.
So
Just before we
Kimi
go- yeah.
is the last Formula One world champion from
Ferrari.
Fiat. No, they Fiat. They're not Ferrari anymore.
Are they now Fiat?
They Fiat. Well, Ferrari. I tell you, the fall from grace, leading a world championship by 68 odd points to not winning it. You know, do me a favor. I think the fear of doing something has paralyzed them. And I say this with great knowledge, with internet sitting a bucket load of miles away. Armchair Critic is for the win. Woo!
We're the best armchair critics. But now listen, just
Yeah.
before we go any, I just want to say hi to a couple of people because they're all logged on, so we better greet them.
But Gary,
You know what happens when we don't greet
I
them?
know, but if we greet all of them, we'll be here for 3 hours. And it's be how's it? Big shout out.
Okay, I'm going to
Big
greet
shout
those.
out to Kelvin in the house, but
We'll get to cover them just now. Yes, please. Okay, just a quick one. Brad, Drew, Janine, White, great joining us. Willie Adlam, are we going to see you SWAT cops on Saturday,
is
brother?
that Wild Willie?
No, this is Mackie Adlam's. I believe he's a relative or a brother of Mackie Adlam. Mackie Adlam
So
pedals
a relative or a brother? Is a brother not a relative? Gary,
I was
focus. Gary.
So,
Gary, look
no,
at
no,
me.
Look at me. Okay, no,
Focus,
Willie, tell us what your relationship is with Mackie Adlam.
Willie.
Yeah. No, Willie's on.
Willie, hold him.
Okay.
You see, this is how it starts.
Then we have Francois Cousins online. Lee Phillips, nice of you having us. Stuart White. Stewie.
Is that Stewie?
The little
Stewie
magic boy.
Awesome, welcome, dude. And I believe you are working up to East London next weekend. There's a couple of challenging corners.
If we can not go there right now.
Okay, we won't go there
Okay.
right now.
But just a
there
quick
are
one,
some touchy subjects, apparently.
Evan Schreiber, Roy Prado, Brett Garland. Are you? Brett, I need one of those 5G things because you know what it's like doing these things. They don't work always.
Gary, we're going to mention everybody.
No, Gavin Upton, Franz, Willie Edlin, Uncle Mabru.
Who's uncle?
I don't know. Willie Edlin says Uncle Mabru in my relation to my question.
Fully, cuz.
You know who's online?
I'll give up, Gary. Who's online?
Ricky, you're supposed to be in gym, brother. And you're watching me.
What's Jim got to do with it?
I don't know. He said every time we go live on a Tuesday and a Thursday, he's in gym. And then...
That's Ricky Giannacaro. So the cool thing about that is, Ricky, you feature a little bit later. In fact, you feature a couple of times. Well, maybe not you, but Ricky. Because you know Ricky Bobby.
We even got the budgies laughing.
Those frickin' hardy dogs.
What's the sound a hardy dog makes when he flies into a tree? Thud.
Gary, this is a serious show.
Yep.
And we have serious matters to discuss.
Okay.
So, in the tradition of... Speaking about Ricky.
Yes.
Which brings us swiftly into Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby of Shake and Bake from Talladega. Now, there's a great theme with Ricky Bobby, Shake and Bake, Shake and Bake through the program. So Talladega was this last weekend, and normally Talladega is a bit of a crash fest, and the guys who are looking for playoff points are really worried. But Stuart Haas Racing arrived. Now, I just want to, we talk about Haas in Formula One, and they run pretty well in Formula One, and I kind of like Kevin Magnussen.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Magnussen, he's all out of... I nearly used that word. He's all out of stuff to give. He races super hard, super competitive all the time. And I want to talk about the team. So now you've got a Formula One team that runs in NASCAR.
Yeah.
So Talladega Nights. They run on Saturday and they start in points position. Anyway, so they rock out on the first lap, and the four Stuart Haas cars slot in behind each other, and they go. And they end up F-fast. The first lap, flying lap, was 208 miles an hour.
Yo.
It's kind of quick. And so they pull away from the rest of the pack. They break the draft. And they dominate like you can't believe. And of course, in the third segment, my man, Kevin Harvick, dominates the mostest. And I just need to lean over and get my goggles here. Kurt Busch ran most of the race, and because production were kind enough to scribble some notes for me, which is absolutely fantastic.
So they put the notes there and the other stuff that's supposed to be in a half-closed computer.
Yeah,
okay,
you know
what's going on.
Yeah, I know I think I know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's just because the printing department is useless.
I think you and I have got to have a serious chat with this so-called
Gary, we need
production
to reorganize the whole thing. And what I think we do is we fire production, and you and I go alone, and we maverick it. Anyway, so
love that idea.
Stuart Haas Racing, Eric Almirola. He hasn't won all year, and he's been feeling pretty down because Kurt Busch, Clint Ismaboya, and Kevin Harvick, they've been winning, and Eric Almirola hasn't won. Anyway, so he wins. He should have won about 4 or 5 races, but there's been basically Clint Ismaboya has screwed him over for 3 race wins. He's been leading, and there's been issues and whatever. So SHR wins. Ricky Stenhouse. They call him Ricky Stenhouse because he
wrecks a lot of things.
He wrecks. So there's Ricky. Anyway, so Stuart Haas Racing, absolutely fantastic. Modern Truex Jr., who is the reigning champion, is looking like he's going to get knocked out of everything. So I really, really enjoyed it. But to see the way these guys at SHR, there was a restart where they weren't at the front, and some of the Penske cars were at front. And within 2 laps, the 4 SHR cars had hooked up with each other
and they were gone.
Checked out. It was phenomenal to see such a high-speed chess match being played out by some guys. And there's inches. Life's about inches. And also, guys, for those of you who've got kids, get them to take mathematics, because racing is all about circles and triangles. But so geometry is important. Maths is even more important. So what we're going to do is, as we go on, we'll pick a subject, like for instance tires and slip angle. Because production is so screwed up, and we're going to maverick it, we'll get our whiteboard and we'll address once a week. We'll address an issue like slip angle, center of gravity, polar moment of inertia. These are the which brings us swiftly. So sorry, just to go back to Haas racing. So you've got Haas in Formula One doing a pretty cool job with Ferrari engines that, of course, Kimi, the best driver in the world, has sorted, and you got SHR in NASCAR. And I tell you what, it is a proper organization, 1,400 employees, and America is great. So that basically was that.
Just the crazy thing about Wave Jello. It's silly. I mean, it started with you and me.
No, it's not. It's actually serious stuff.
It becomes serious, but it started with you and me having a jaw about Dakar. And then it was
one thing. That was hard work, Gary.
No.
It's a friendly discussion.
Yes. And it's now come down
to...
But
you've got to focus.
Now it's now got down to the thing now where I've got a guy like Graham Rodney Niven saying, Gary, do you know the teams that are taking part in drags with a Z in America? Graham, not next show, the show afterwards, you'll get all the dope on that, all right?
I'm just looking there and I see 2 names.
Which one?
I see 3 names. Terence Marsh, who is Mr. Nissan. I watched Saving of Nissan and how Carlos Ghosn basically brought them from a fairly dysfunctional company to making some cool stuff. They make some really, really nice... They're not boring cars. They're proper. I worked for Datsun at the time, and anyway, that's another story. So Terence Marsh is there. Matt Nash. Matt, build those cars, bring them to East London. And the cool thing about both of these are vehicle manufacturers in South Africa. Marsh exports bucket loads of cars to the rest of the world, and he makes happiness. And of course, John Craig. John Craig Sr. was a master of the bucking Bronco that was a Nissan Maxima, and John Craig Jr. is also kind of
You're actually talking about that. Now, you and I sort of planned certain things, but I'm telling you something now. The show on the 30th of October.
I believe that's going to be at
We're going to be inside one of the workshops that builds these crazy things that you know a lot about things. And I know nothing.
The off-road cars.
Yeah. No, but that's on the 30th of October.
Did you speak to...
Yes, sorted, done. But I see Mr. Terence Masters online and he's watching us. Unfortunately, I've made a phone call. It went to a phone engaged. Terence, I will call you in the morning.
Terence, basically, we want to come and talk from your workshop. So let's set it up. Terence, our production people will get in charge of in touch with you.
Just write any Wednesday after the 30th. Just type the date in there and we'll be in the workshop. In comments right now. I mean, in the comments below. That's what it is. And
Gary,
look at this.
Are you putting pressure on? Gary, I can see nothing.
I know. That's what I'm going to tell you.
48 font.
Wait. I'm going to tell you.
I'm like a bat.
Our inside connections.
Which one?
Inside endurance racing. The
Mom.
boys behind everything.
Oh, not Mom.
No. I've just got it over here, or I'm not going to say who sent it. I said, Gary, it's okay. Gets mentioned. Now the entry was done today. We will get back to that just now when we get into endurance racing. I'll tell you what that entry is.
I know what that is. But anyway, so
we start with
what was.
Yes.
Talladega, shake and bake, baby. Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last. Second sucks, etc., etc. I'll tell you what. And so now we move to what is this weekend. G&H Transport supercars, extreme supercars, and they are extreme, at Swartkorps. And this is the reason that I have my laptop, because printing didn't do their job properly. So how's about this for Gary? Did lighting sort themselves out? Boom! Lighting department. Just hold on a minute, Gary. Can you
I will
entertain
do it.
that?
Okay,
I've just got to sort lighting department now.
All right, guys, just to let you know, okay, Willie Edlam, thank you very much for explaining what it is. Okay, so Mackie is your late brother. Johnny Edlam's son will see you laptop. No, Willie, you got to come to racing, brother. You got to come to racing. Mark Dugan, thanks for joining us. Aubrey Nokia, Wayne Masters, all you guys online, thanks very much. Hey, Greg Charman, all the way from England.
Yeah, we already spoke about Happy Harvick, Greg.
Yeah.
Because he's the bestest in the world. Absolutely awesome. So, this weekend,
yes,
Gary, this is not a shout-out show. We love the people that follow us. But, you know, we can sit and shout out to all the bots for a long time. Guys, thank you for watching. Without you, we like just two oaks talking rubbish to fresh air.
We'd probably be sitting here with a six-pack on our hands having a chat. The camera doesn't work.
But
because
we've now got a camera that works, and we've got sound that works, we've got lights that work.
So now we've got to behave.
We've got all sorts of stuff. So G&H Transport, extreme supercars.
Yeah. This weekend.
I just want to say thank you to Jimmy Giannacaro for the effort and the money and the passion and the love that he puts into to this. Because without proper sponsors, motorsport is a bit lacking.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we go to Swartkorps for this weekend. It's part of the, I forget, do they still call it the Power Tour?
Nah.
Is this shaking and, or is this the extreme?
This is the extreme festival.
So there are a couple of
other things.
There are a couple of other formulas. So we're going to talk
1600.
about them. There's InvestChem Formula 1600s. This is basically the winner gets a chance to go to America. And make racing great again. There's Engine Polo Cups.
If Volkswagen don't talk to us this weekend, we know why.
Mark.
Our apologies.
It's all cool. And then we've got the Red Square. And I've got to look at my notes because this gets long. Kawasaki ZX10 Masters Challenge.
Yes.
Oof. So and Masters, does that mean if you...
They are over a certain age. Don't ask me what it is.
Okay, so basically it's a bunch of old oaks.
No, but we'll give the information when we're live at the track on Saturday.
And there's VW Challenge, there's Lotus Challenge, and there's GTC Racing.
Cecil GTC Racing. That's the global touring cars.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know what?
It's the Cecil. Oh, and the fine thing there is Gary
V8 running.
Gary Tomato is going to run his V8 because apparently in world motorsport, 2-liter turbos are kind of cool, but V8s are cooler.
Yeah.
They're also a bit simpler and cheaper and easier to run.
Well, the idea,
so they can make privateers can run.
Yeah, the idea behind Gary putting this together is to try and show that privateers can get involved. By running the V8, they're not going to have the same problems as the hybrid turbo cars.
Turbos never have any problems. They have minor issues, technical issues. When it shreds a Conrad out the side of the block,
it's a minor issue.
No, it's an electrical issue because it knocks the alternator off the side of it. When the turbocharger launches itself because it does. It's a minor lubrication issue, but you can't call it a lubrication issue because Sasol is sponsoring. So, but anyway, so the poo will anyway. Sasol GTC
can see what's going to happen this weekend.
Kind of lacquer. What I think is totally cool is the G&H Transport Extreme Supercars. I just want to run down, and I need my laptop for this, and I need my arse.
Yeah, but we have things like we got a KTM crossbow.
Okay. So hold on. Let me just read this. Porsche 997, Lamborghini Gallardo, and Aston Martin Vantage V12 GT3. He's still calling it a baby Beamer.
Yeah.
It's a freaking teenage Beamer. That thing
Yeah.
has got a turbocharger on it that's this big. It makes 987 horsepower. No, in fact, sorry, Davy actually told me it's only got 250 horsepower.
That's because he doesn't know what to do with the balance. If he had it.
No, he does. Davy can pedal, hey? It's proper good.
Evening,
There's a couple
Davy.
of Ferraris, another 997 Porsche. There's another Lamborghini, another Porsche. It's unbelievable. So basically, Lamborghinis, Porsche, what's that other thing?
Aston Martin. Yes. Ferrari. BMW.
These Ferraris are still from when Ferrari ran proper Formula One cars.
Yeah.
And there's a Andre Diedrichs in a 2005 Mini Cooper.
Yes.
Freaking awesome. So let's close that because now I've got that out of my skin.
So I hope you're all going to be there. For those of you that live outside of Gauteng, don't worry. We'll be bringing you as much update of inside what's going on in the pits in relation to G&H Extreme Supercar, Transport Extreme Supercars.
Karen, get your
Behind the scenes stuff. And Colin's going to wrap me across the knuckles, and Ricky's going to double wrap me across the knuckles.
G&H Transport Extreme Supercars.
Supercars.
That's it. So please focus, Kerry. So just give you some timing.
Getting knocked out again.
10 past 9 qualifying. 12 is the first race, and 4 o'clock is the second race.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
our weather app says to us that it says it's either going to be foggy or it's going to rain on Saturday.
Well, you know, if it's foggy, it's going to turn into rain.
I want to be a weather
Well, we've got the best weather monitor measuring device in the world.
Yeah,
it's very simple.
So I feel like I've been working. So the easiest job in the world has got to be a weather forecaster. You know, if you're a welder
Yes.
and you welding I'm thinking of Rob Howie welding roll cages, you got to make sure they're pretty good, because if you screw up, your car falls apart. The
Yeah.
weatherman, he turns around and he says, wow, well, morning there's got to be sunshine over there and low pressure area over there and howling wind over there. If they get it wrong, well, hey, I'm a weather reporter. I'm allowed to get it wrong.
Yeah.
It's like... Anyway, so G&H Transport Supercars, things to watch for there is the speed of the Lamborghinis, because Simon Murray has got his GT3
upgrade.
I'll tell you what, this is a proper thing. And the difference between... So you take a standard car, you modify it a little bit,
By so much.
and then it becomes
by so much wider
Gary,
on each side.
Gary, focus here. You're jumping ahead. So you take your standard road car, you modify it a little bit and it becomes a GT4.
What?
Because
Okay.
GT4s is the future, people. This is my Nostradamus moment. Then you buy the kit, because there's a whole bunch more homologated stuff. And the bestest thing ever on a GT3 car is there's carbon fiber for days. Because carbon fiber is like silicon. It is magnificent.
I know where you're
The
going
more-
with this. And
No,
this
no,
is,
no,
there's-
carbon
there are
fiber.
children watching, eh?
Carbon fiber. I was gluing sinks in today with silicon.
Anna Marie says, Pinar, Colin, behave yourself. We know where you're going with that.
So there's carbon fiber for days in GT3, and it's wider and faster and louder and awesomer. But it's also a lot more expensive. And you need lots more cleverer people to run it. So we in South Africa, let's be realistic. We can have a whole bunch of supercars here. But, sorry,
What?
the butterfly just went... zzz. One of those Porsches is Mr. Scribanti's Porsche.
Yes, he's managed
Repaired,
to have
sorted.
Yeah,
I hope he's got the gearbox sorted out and the management
No, that-
system sorted
that,
out.
That's all done from what I believe. And,
Senor Scribanti. I'm actually looking forward to... This is the return match. You know, like, did you watch that MMA fight the other night? Where the oaks murdered each other stuckant,
yeah.
and then got out of the ring and murdered the crowd, and it was a little bit over the
The
top.
boys couldn't be
Okay, so this is Swartkorp's G&H Transport Extreme Supercars. It's
Return
not
match.
MMA, but it's kind of like MMA. Because Scribanti and Arangis have got a bit of history, where there was They were in close proximity and one of the cars crashed. That car's been repaired and they're coming back for more. It's magnificent. The thing that made racing great
Yes.
from then to now
Yeah.
has always been rivalries. The Prost and Senna, Mansell and Mansell.
Correct.
And
Correct.
I'm trying to think of some other rivalries, but I'll get there eventually.
Mr. James
So-
Hunt and Co. No, I'm going
Hunt
back.
and Lauder. Yeah. Hunt and?
Louder.
No, stop shouting. So we've now got this little bit of, there's not a whole lot of friendship. They're not going to, these two, they don't sit down and eat pancakes on a Saturday morning together. And the crews don't kind of, there's passion, there's love, there's motorsport. They love their cars, and each team, each group believes their cars are fasterer.
Yeah.
And their drivers are betterer, and it is magnificent to see this rivalry. So we're going to stir a little bit there and see if we can get them to talk to us. So that's one of the things I'm looking at. The other thing I'm looking for is Ricky. It is Ricky in the Lambo.
Yes.
I mean, they're twins.
Yeah, no,
okay, so do me a favor.
Gianni's not entered.
So, yeah, but I
Because
knew that.
he broke they damaged the
He
car.
broke it again.
No. This time,
So what
this
he
time
needs
the,
to do-
the back came totally apart. And they haven't managed to
So
put
what-
it back together.
So what he needs to do is get hold of another Lamborghini GT3 car.
What do you do if I told you that that possibility is extremely high?
No, I would not be surprised because I know where that car's lurking. So now you've got Ricky in the Lambo, and he's like, he hasn't stepped into that car and pinned it and put it right on the edge from the beginning.
No.
And it's a kind of a learning curve to go from a BMW with
Well, think of it this
a
way.
lot of stuff and turbo and wings and, of course, carbon fiber splitters and what do they call those things in the front, wickers and what, into a proper racing car.
Four-wheel drive, nogal. So this will be his third race in the car.
Yeah.
And we've got to give him the time to, I don't believe it, all the way from Brazil. I mean, South America. Mr. Calvin van der Linde has just
It
logged
is
in.
Brazil because he's at Circuito like
Sorry, it's nice to have guys following us. Just so that you all know, Calvin is off to he's in South America. He actually checked
That
in
track.
a bit earlier on
What's
this afternoon.
the name of the track, Gary?
Autodroma,
Ayrton Senna.
the Ayrton Senna. And he's driving one of those Brazilian stock cars this weekend. And the last time he was over there, he was with Team Blau Motorsport. Don't ask me what Blau stands for. But Team Blau Motorsport with Calvin and his teammate, they were in the tops. And he's back there.
We spoke about, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, that his teammate is
We
driving in.
Calvin says we're saving him from jet lag. Thanks, brother.
Set your watch, trick with jet lag. When you get on the plane, set your watch to the destination and pretend that that's the time.
Calvin,
but hey,
have
you travel a bit more than me,
Yeah.
but also, you know, the enthusiasm of youth will always be beaten by the treachery of age. Jeff Goddard, quote unquote.
So are you now still in that youth bracket?
Gary, you're only as young as you feel.
Calvin, have a fantastic weekend.
We know you're going to do good.
Enjoy every single second of that over there and make us proud, brother. We're looking forward to it.
You know what I really like? One of the things is that you've now got a world-class GT3 driver,
Yeah.
paid for by the factory.
Yeah.
He's employed. He's
Well,
20-something. And he's now jumping into another completely other discipline where the aero is different. So it's kind of like a refresher. And
Yeah.
wait, hold on, we don't have to all drive.
yeah,
These factory-
just to help a couple of people out there, those that don't know too much about the Brazilian stock cars, but they are the Brazilian version of DTM. In other words, they're probably not as fast as a DTM car, but the aerodynamics and the packages are very, very similar. So
So they run an AER V8 engine.
that's right, yeah.
Tubular space frame, fiberglass bodies, and they got wings. They probably actually got Kevlar and a bit of, because what's the bestest? The two finest. In fact, there are 3 materials in the world of motorsport
Oh,
that one should never underestimate: carbon fiber,
yeah.
silicon, and unobtainium. Those are the 3 materials that, and apart from duct tape and tie wraps. Gary, we're wandering.
Yes.
That butterfly is getting
yeah.
lots of...
So-
and there's Lotus Challenge
Yeah.
race as well. Now, one of there are 2 cars in the Lotus Challenge you've got to watch for. Clippy's Kruger, and he's got a BMW 2-litre turbocharged, 2-litre super touring car engine in that thing with a sequential Hollinger.
Yeah.
It's quick as hell. And then it's his son-in-law who has got another, clearly it's a Lotus because,
Yeah.
and it's got a Nissan
Oh, yes,
2-litre
yeah.
DET turbocharged car.
Okay.
So there's quite a lot of, the one has got a little bit more top end, the other one is a bit more angry. It's absolutely fantastic.
Are we going to get on to some other exciting stuff now?
Next weekend.
Next
Next weekend we go fly away.
Did you know
I know everything, Gary. I got updated by Google last night.
I did some tests yesterday afternoon
Yes. See, I knew that already.
for Saturday?
So one of let me put this into perspective to bring it in. We mentioned that we were going to try some streaming and to stream more than just the 2 of us talking crazy stuff in the pit lane.
Yes.
So that we can bring the action on the track out to you. So Gary, along with our technical department and the engineers and all of that, you did some tests. Did
Yes.
they work?
Beautifully.
Are you happy?
I am so stoked. I really am so stoked. This is going to be, for those of you going to watch us next weekend, if you're in East London, you have to get there. And I'm going to tell you why now. Because that weekend is going to be a record-breaking weekend.
Why?
We have some of the fastest 4-wheels in the country going down.
Yeah, and I believe there's... Okay, so now, talking about the phosphorus thing...
Okay, let me just
So
finish.
finish your
Yeah,
streaming,
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
actually...
Yeah.
It's quite a breakthrough.
It is. It is in a sense of endurance racing and a couple of other things. But we're going to have all sorts of types of cameras at the circuit. Some of them are going to be static. Some of them will be manned cameras. There will be full pit lane...
Human cameras,
Yeah, in other words...
because they could be female. They
No,
could
they're,
be...
they're manned
they
by
could-
they're manned by a camera operator.
Yeah, but they could choose their gender. With this whole gender
I wasn't going to
fluidity.
go there, but since you're going there,
No,
finish.
I don't want to go
No,
there.
finish.
No, I don't want to go there.
Okay,
I think
fine.
it's friggin' ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, and so we're going to be bringing you a lot of that stuff. There'll be 3 of us on microphones. Him,
And a
And-
surprise package.
and a surprise package.
But like Motormouth, he talks more than me.
Yeah, thank goodness we can have comms with him. You can tell him. Excuse me. We're in.
Greg, we look forward to having you there and to joining us as a team. We know that you are... He's probably one of... that guy has got enthusiasm and passion for motorsport for years. I think it's
I
absolutely
agree with you
magnificent.
100%.
So,
he's probably
Greg,
he's probably
look
the
forward
best.
to working with you because he's a legend, a proper legend.
Yeah, in his own time.
Gary, don't be nasty.
I wasn't.
He's proper nasty.
Greg and I understand each other. He's
So now
probably going
let's
to come
go.
up. Okay.
Let's go to East London. We're going to stream it. We're going to talk
yes.
in the pits.
Yes.
And then we've got some cars coming.
Yes. And we
And
got
you
some
got
of
a
the
message.
I just got updated.
Was it in a bottle?
No, it was in a little box on my computer screen. Message bottle. We'll have the Swartkorps lap record breaking Genetta G57.
Oh, we forgot to mention that.
No,
Last
that's why I brought
weekend,
it up now.
58 seconds, official lap record in a race. Did anybody ever win that huge amount of money that
I am not.
Peter Dutoy put up for the first person to break 60 seconds?
I have no idea.
I think he should now put it up for the
I
first
think. I think.
person
What,
to break
I think
55 seconds.
Okay. Well, if the first person that broke the 1 minute record was Charles Oranges,
Yeah.
okay, in a race.
Well, that's where you
Other
get lap
guys
records.
have been faster because Gavin Cronier did a 56 on
he
Shakedown. No, on Shakedown the Wednesday before the last race.
So
Okay.
the
In
rule,
shaking the
the
car
rule
down.
about lap records is that it comes from the official timekeepers during a race.
Yeah, all over the world it's like that.
All over.
Yeah,
You sure?
Even
Even in America.
even America's not the world.
It is. It's the center of the universe. We all revolve around America. What
Anyway,
Galileo was
yeah.
wrong.
So,
Because he
so,
didn't know that Trump was...
Yeah. So for everybody down there, there's going to be 2 Ginetta G57s.
Aha.
There will be 3 Ligiers.
Okay, and there's 2 different models of them. The ones are 46 and the other ones are...
It's a Ligier JS49.
So,
Okay, and the 2 of the latest JS53 Evos that are extremely quick motor cars.
I'm looking forward to those cars in the complex, and particularly as they take the right hand, they enter, then set the car up for the
Yeah.
left, and then right onto the back straight. The ground effect on those cars is proper. They're light, they're nimble. It's going to be exciting, Gary.
It is going to be very exciting.
This is...
And then we
Slummies
have-
will come alive.
And then we have 3 backdraft Cobras.
And that's a completely different animal.
That's
because
right,
it's
yeah.
they rumble like hell. And I really feel for Tony, and I hope that they get their cars to got them proper reliable.
Yeah.
We know that the Battalier guys, they will come with innovation. They've found solutions to problems that haven't been invented yet, but they're always thinking. And we talk about passion, and these guys, they're working all the time. They're coming up with solutions, and love it. Absolutely
And
love
then
it.
and then we've got, to me, which anybody ever wants to get involved in endurance racing, I suggest you guys follow this route before you spend too much money on big fast cars. You get Oliver Nash. You
Which
get
is
all
a
the
little fast
yeah,
car.
you get all of Matthew Nash from Nash Motorsport. This is a specially designed or purposefully designed. What do you call them? It's like
a space frame?
Space frame with a couple of fiberglass
The-
parts on it.
The thing that they did
Yes.
was to to try and find some affordable way to go racing,
Yeah.
particularly endurance racing,
Correct.
and something that was reliable,
Yeah.
relatively affordable to buy,
Yeah.
and reasonably cost effective to run. In some research earlier this year, I was looking at costs of running a racing car.
Yeah.
And one of the figures that was thrown at me was 10,000 Rand a kilometer.
Oosh.
10,000 Rand a kilometer. Which is absolutely mind-blowingly frightening. So now you've got something that you essentially taken a Golf GTI and built it into a proper space frame, put the engine at the back and all of the other bits and pieces. It runs standard Golf brake pads. It runs treaded tires. These tires can run for days. It runs standard bits and pieces in the engine. And the reason it can do that is that they added a whole lot of lightness to this
Correct.
car. And Colin Chapman was the king of lightness, and if it lasted a race or longer than a race, it was too heavy. We've got fans.
Flying in.
So Matt Nash has done a great job, and James Forbes has followed a whole lot. So it's absolutely magnificent. So we're going to watch. There's eight of them, I think.
At the moment, the last count, I saw 5 entered. And you know who's driving them? The guys that helped the Nash win Inexa Performance at Swartkops last time.
From Campos.
Campos, the 2 Campos brothers in a car. That's going to be interesting
So
to watch.
Keegan, no pressure. You've got to defend your index of performance win. And Gary, let's not. Next week we're going to talk a little bit more about the endurance race. I'm excited about that because we travel and we go to the greatest racetrack in South Africa, East London. But this weekend it's G&H Transport Extreme Supercars.
Swartkops.
I see production are 9 o'clock is
I've got to go and
practice.
do something while
You do
wind
your
up.
thing.
Guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you live tomorrow and Saturday, and then all the questions you put in here will be answered. Terry Wilford, Willie Adlam, and that will be answered for you next week, Wednesday. Thanks for watching.
So 9 o'clock tomorrow on Saturday at Swartkops is G&H Transport Extreme Supercars qualifying. 12:35 is race 1 and 4 o'clock is race 2. It's well worth the trip out there. It's going to be exciting. I'll be there with Gary on Saturday. Gary will be flying solo on Friday, but he'll bring you all the bits and pieces. Thanks a lot for watching. We look forward to catching you over the weekend. Cheers.